Hello everybody, welcome to the second video in the channel. Today we will discuss together how to write a discharge letter to the patient's GP. Let's start. This is the medical notes of the patient, name of hospital, Mrs. Sally Fletcher, the patient's name, her date of birth. She is married since 5 years and today's visit. Her diagnosis is endometriosis. She has past history, painful periods for 3 years, wants children and trying to conceive for 1 year. She's accountant, his occupation is important, exercises 3 times a week, it doesn't matter. The medical background, frequent acute menstrual pain, localized to the lower left quadrant. Pain persists despite taking over-the-counter medication. She has occasional constipation associated with pain in the lower left quadrant. Transvaginal ultrasound showed 6 cm cyst, likely of endometrial origin. Patient recovering post-operative from laparoscopic surgery on the same date. No complication happened. Keep post-operative care. She was instructed to keep her incisions clean and dry. Mobility, post-operative showering is permitted second day. Driving is prohibited when on analgesics. And driving can be resumed 1 to 2 days after the final dose of analgesics. Sexual activity can be resumed 2 weeks post-operative. And she is encouraged to take oral fluids and encouraged spare patient tolerance to ambulate early. Now the patient is afebrile, or her labs came back normal. Patient is sitting comfortably, alert, oriented. She is good, has good progress in general. The patient is to be discharged today when she can eat and ambulate. Patient must be discharged to someone who can drive home. The task: you are a first-year resident in the surgical ward, and Mrs. Sally Fletcher, she is a 25-year-old woman who has recently undergone surgery. You are now discharging her from hospital. Write a letter of discharge to the patient's GP, Dr. Stevens, and this is the address of the surgery. Let's start. First, the layout. The Dr. Stevens, general practitioner, same address in the medical notes, copy paste. Then you can leave an empty line and write today's date, which is 25 and 03 2018. We here has to write the date full, even 3 from any month from 1 to 9. We need to write it 01, 02, 09 and slashes in between. Then after that we can leave an empty line and write Dear Dr. Stevens. If we have full name of the GP doctor, we will write it in the first line, full name, and with Dear Doctor we will write the surname only. Dear Dr. Stevens, comma. Then regarding RE and colons, Mrs. Sally Fletcher is the first time to mention the patient's name, so it will be written full name and with the title as well. Then leave a space on the same line and write the date of birth, colon 03/1/10/1993, full date. Okay, this is the layout. Let's go to the intro. She has endometriosis, and as we know now, there is no need for painful periods and wants children. She's accountant, and this is important in the intro. So we will write the intro. I'm writing to discharge Mrs. Fletcher. Now we will write surname. Mrs. Fletcher, comma, a 25-year-old accountant. This is the occupation, comma, who was admitted to our hospital, admitted to, not at, admitted to, admitted to our hospital today following a laparoscopic resection of an endometrial cyst. Your ongoing follow-up would be highly valued, highly appreciated. Now, this is a discharge letter from the hospital, from the obstetric department to the GP to tell him what has done, what the instructions, what they need from the GP to follow up her. This is update to the GP. Now, this is the intro of the letter. The following paragraph we will write on what's done on admission. On admission, Mrs. Fletcher presented with a complaint because it's first time to say the word complaint. Mrs. Fletcher presented with a complaint of frequent acute menstrual pain, which was localized to her lower left quadrant. Try to be changeable a little bit. Here he wrote in the medical note the lower left quadrant. We can write here lower left quadrant, along with occasional constipation. We will connect between two nouns with along with. Her pain had persisted despite taking naproxen. Had persisted past perfect because the pain finished. Her pain because of endometriosis has finished now. So we will write her pain had persisted, despite, not despite of, and spite of, but despite alone. And despite after despite came, what's come after despite? Gerund. Despite taking naproxen. Naproxen is a brand name. We will write it in capital letter. Consequently, a transvaginal ultrasound was done, and an endometrial cyst of 6 cm was confirmed. Therefore, she underwent the laparoscopic surgery. The second time I mention laparoscope, so I will write it with a letter the. She underwent the laparoscopic surgery successfully with appropriate care. The following paragraph during Mrs. Fletcher's hospital stay, encouraging of taking oral fluids and returning to her regular diet, together with moving early were achieved by the nursing team. We are connecting three nouns with together with. So we can first noun and second noun together with third noun. And they were achieved by the nursing team. She was advised is because it is a verb, to keep her incisions clean and dry. The necessary lab tests were requested and no abnormalities were detected. One time I can tell ordered like in the previous paragraph, and now in this paragraph we write requested. The previous paragraph on abnormality was confirmed, and this now we can write were detected. Try to avoid repetition. Now, what's going on now? Mrs. Fletcher has been advised not to drive while taking her medications. She may resume driving 24 to 48 hours after stopping the medicines. In addition, counseling regarding resuming sexual activity was conducted. Not necessary to tell 2 weeks or in the specific instructions. She was conducted on when to resume her sexual activity. So we can avoid unnecessary and the details which is not necessary to the GP to know. Only we can ask the patient after that on her follow-up about if she followed the instructions or not. All right. Today, because all that happened on same day, she was admitted today, the surgery done today, and she will be discharged as well today. Today, Mrs. Fletcher is ready for discharge into the care of her husband when she can tolerate oral intake. Please do not hesitate, do not to contact me should you need any further information non-countable without S. Should you need any further information, then you will leave 2 lines, yours sincerely, comma, 1 empty line, doctor. And that's the letter. The layout regarding the name of patient, date of birth, the intro, why I'm writing the discharge, Mrs. Fletcher, on admission. This is the paragraph following the intro, why she came, the complaint she came with. Then the second paragraph, during Mrs. Fletcher's hospital stay, what done for her, and Mrs. Fletcher has been advised on any instructions, incisions, analgesics, and today she is ready for discharge into the care of her husband. So please do not hesitate to contact me should you need any further information. 2 empty lines, yours sincerely, and another empty line, doctor. And that's it. It's simple and easy. If you have found it is fruitful and it's beneficial for you, as long as you need any letter to write it, you can write it in the comments, the medical notes, and I can upload the next video for you according to the letter you want. Okay, see you next video and bye. Bye for now.